Happy New Year's, folks. And as always, cheers. I don't know how to give like proper shout outs on here, but my private pilot student, Jonathan, made this shirt, FHC Flying Health Coach. And on the back, this is awkward, but you can see it says cheers. Super cool. Love you, man. It was awesome. It was a great gift. Um, Again, I would, put a post in here or something, how to follow him, but I just don't know how to do that. Otherwise I would do it, but thanks, Jonathan. You're the man. Um, Today, again, happy New Year. And yeah, like I said, always cheers. Am I having a glass of wine right now at 5:23 p.m. on a Monday? Yes, I am. Um, Not because I'm an alcoholic, but it's New Year's. It's another IFR holiday here in Minnesota. And I wanted to make a video, and this has just be kind of come thing that I do when I make a video. So here we are. Yeah, so it's New Year's, right? 2024. Cheers to that. What another great time to reflect back. Last video I did was right around Christmas time, and it was again about Christmas is a time for giving, but it's also a time for reflection. And obviously, the new year or beginning of the new year is no different, right? It's a time to look back at the previous year and you know what went good, what went bad, right? What do I want to focus on improving on this year? What changes do I want to make in my life, and so on and so forth, which is all fine and dandy. But as anyone who is watching this, pilots, health people, right, whatever, and especially people in the health industry, right, personal trainers, health coaches, doctors, dietitians, nutritionists, all the gamut, right? You all know that all of your clients, and I'm no stranger to this myself, but every single year, especially when it gets towards the end of the year, right, people start saying, I'm gonna change this next year. I'm gonna do this next year. I'm gonna start working out next year. I'm gonna start eating better next year. Um, Very much just strictly outcome goal based, which is not bad. I don't disagree with having outcome goals, right? And having proper steps to get there, right? And taking things off your checklist as you get better at them, improve better habits. I think there's a lot of merit to that. And it's a great thing. But there's the bigger issue is right is the thought process going into that and who you are as a person, right? How you identify yourself. And I've been reading a really good new book lately, Atomic Habits. Fantastic book. And there's a chapter I'm reading right now. It's stuff I've heard of before in the past, but stuff I haven't thought a lot about in a long time. And it's your identity, right? And the new year, new me trap, it's really just like an identity crisis, right? It's our internal monologue that we want to change so bad, I think, right? There's a part of us, right? If you do want to change, it is, right? But there is a part of you that, if you're not happy with how you look, if you're not happy with how much money you have, you're not happy with your spouse, your career, right? You're not happy with those things. And you want to change them, right? So there's positive in there wanting to change, right? But there's also I think the deeper underlying thing is how you identify yourself, right? And it's in the Atomic Habits book I'm reading right now is a great sentence in there. And the paragraph was someone asking two people if they want a cigarette. One person says, no, I'm trying to quit smoking. The other person says, no, I'm not a smoker, right? Two very similar sentences, but two very different meanings, right? The one person says, no, I'm trying to quit smoking, signifies the universe that they currently are a smoker, right? That they're trying to quit, which is good in nature, right? But their identity still wrapped the fact that they're a smoker versus the other person saying, no, I'm not a smoker, right? So it's that shift in identity and how you see yourself. And my personal example has always been, right? It could be like me chewing, right? Like I'm trying to quit chewing. And even that sentence, right? I'm trying to quit chewing contradicts what I just said because it signifies that I'm a chewer, right? So, my big thing now is having that identity shift and saying I'm not a chewer, right? Um, and that's kind of my focus going into this next year, right? Is really focusing on my identity and who I am and who I portray myself to be to the world and other people, and kind of seeing what impact that has on my life. And it's super interesting, right? As I'm really looking back at my life right now and looking at the areas that are going really well, and they're all the areas that I have a strong identity towards, like my career, for instance. Like I bust my ass in my career, right? If it wasn't weather like this, I would have flew all day today. I flew all day today, right? But I've been doing this 7 days a week for a long time, and my career has done really well, right? I'm making a lot of progress there, and same with my body, right? I started a new workout program. I switched up my nutrition a bit because my identity around my career, my nutrition, right? It's a positive identity, right? Identify myself as someone who's a hard worker, and that identity trickles into my career and my exercise, right? Which then trickles into inevitably like my body, and then also the money that I'll making slash really making, right? But the one area that I really truly do struggle in is my identity in myself, in my confidence, right? That's where I tend to struggle in, is that type of identity. So it's figuring out the chewing thing and the confidence thing are my two big ones, right? And how to switch that mindset around. So this year going into the new year, for the folks that are thinking about, okay, I want to eat better, I want to work out more, I want to look better, I want to do all this, right? Before you start setting just these outcome goals, I want to lose 30 pounds. Well, that's good, right? But what happens when you get there is you'll be happy for a bit, but if you haven't switched around, your daily core habits and who you are, who you identify yourself as, that 30 pounds comes back on really fast, right? And it's happened ever since I was a health coach. Every year, I've had so many people who have seen such good success the first 2-3 months of a new year, just to come back and say, yeah, I put 20 pounds right back on again, right? Because they never switched like that deep internal monologue, right? They never switched their actual identity of who they were as a person, because they've been identifying themselves as this person who's overweight, who needs to lose something, which saying again, I need to lose something implies that you have stuff to lose versus just being here and present in the moment and happy with who you are, and then signifying, I just want to be better, right? I want to be a healthy person, right? I want to be this versus, I'm saying something in the universe that's I'm lacking in something, right? Be present in the now is what they say. You can have all that you want this entire life, right? If you can just be present in the now, right? Because being present right now doesn't signify to the universe or anything else that you're lacking in anything, right? If you're not lacking in anything, you can take on more, right? And that's a beautiful thing. Um, but if you signify to the universe that you're lacking in something, that you're not good enough in something, that's a story you're going to keep telling yourself. And its story is going to keep happening over and over again until you make that mental switch into, I am enough, I have enough. And now I want to start doing X, Y, and Z things and making a new identity for myself and make a new me, which you can do, right? I've done a lot of videos on the power of choice. And that's a beautiful thing in this life, that we always have the power to choose, what you want to do and who you want to be in this world. And it does take work, right? There's no doubt about that. Switching your identity around takes a lot of work, because having that other identity that you've grown accustomed to for all those years, it's like your safe space, right? It's your safe space. That's where your mind wants to go because it's used to it. Your body and mind doesn't like change, right? So when you want to make that shift, that paradigm shift to something new, it does take work. It can't just be 2 or 3 days of eating healthy. It can't just be 2 or 3 days of hard work, right? It's got to be every single day that you're doing something. And this is where I want to tie it back into, setting, achievable, achievable daily habits and goals, if you will, right? And that's what you really have to do. You can't just say, starting today, I'm going to work out. Okay, that's cool, right? Or starting today, I'm going to focus on losing 30 pounds, right? That's great, but that's strictly just an outcome goal, right? You have to have logical steps and do something every day to get there, right? And exercise as an example, right? Now, if we take the entire next year, right, and you say I want to lose 30 pounds, awesome, let's do that. If the previous year you never set foot in the gym, you can almost 100% guarantee that if you start going to the gym 3 to 5 days a week today, you're probably going to fail, right? That's just a fact reality. You might do it for 2-3 months, right? But what's the point if you stop 3 months from now and then you gain all the weight back? I used to have people tell me that, well, Mark, they're trying, they're doing a good job. They went to the gym 3 months. Yeah, that's true. But what's the point if you gain all the weight back that you lost a month later? I don't see a point to that. You just wasted 3 months of your life, right? Right? Versus a lifelong stuff. So what has worked really well for people in the past, and this goes for every part of your life, not just the gym, right? In the past, when someone says, hey, I want to lose 30 pounds, starting January 1st, I want to do this. And we'll tell them, hey, that's great and all, but you've done this every year for the previous 5 years. What's the definition of insanity? Well, according to Albert Einstein, which is very true, is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? Which is insane, right? It's like walking down the same path and going down the same road every single day, and you fall down the same cliff every single day. Well, you're going to keep falling down the cliff if you go down the road every single day. It's just what's going to happen, right? But if this year now we look at things a little differently and say, okay, you know what? The last 2 years I've tried this, it didn't work. This year, let's try doing one or two little things every single day that can build into something. And it's everyone knows this, you've heard it 10,000 times. I know you have, right? But instead of jumping into something monumental, right? If the past year you never really did much gym work or exercise, well, cool. Let's start with a 20-minute walk every single day, right? Every day. Not even that, maybe a 5-minute walk, right? 5-minute walk every day, right? Not much. You're not gonna lose a lot of weight doing that, right? First week or two at least, right? But after 2 weeks, now you're feeling good, you're feeling better, you feel motivated. It feels good to be accomplishing something. Next 2 weeks, now let's do a 10-minute walk every day or a 10-minute walk a couple times a week. And you start getting good in that. After a month, now you're being active every single day. You're going to feel more confident in yourself and you're building a new identity for yourself. And that's what's going to get you to where you want to be in life. And again, that applies to everything, even finances, right? If you're sick of how much money you have in your bank account, well, maybe you got to stop spending so much damn money, right? And start focusing on, maybe getting some, knowledge around. Maybe it's doing some kind of trading. Maybe it's talking to some financial folks about where can I invest my money, right? But you start doing that. You don't need to put $1,000 away every single month, but maybe start putting $100 away a month, right? Okay, after a year goes by, you've saved $1,200, and you put that into like a Roth IRA or some type of other aggressive investment account or whatever have you, or you maybe got in some like NFTs. I don't know. I take a pick, but maybe that money grew a little bit, right? So after 1 year, you can look back and, a year from now, it's like, okay, I actually did something small. It felt really good. And now my money's compounding and I'm saving more and I'm more conscious about my spending. And, the amount of happiness that you can gain in one single year by just doing one or, a couple little things every single day and shift that identity around, right? That's the stuff that's going to change your life for the long term, right? We humans, and I'm included in this, right? We want instant gratification so much, right? You want things now, right? We want to lose that 30 pounds next month, right? We want to be a millionaire next month, right? I want to quit chewing right now, today, which in reality I could do if I had a stronger mindset, but you get my point, right? Don't beat yourself up, right? Don't be hard on yourself. And the key, on my mind, the key to not doing that is, and people are going to fail, right? But the key to really not doing that is don't set yourself up for failure in the first place. Identify the areas you're weak on that you need to focus on, usually your identity and your mindset. Then, pick one or two little habits you can do every single day that are going to build you into a better person, right? It's amazing how much it works. Even for me, I read, it's not much, right? But I read maybe 5 or 10 pages every morning, but I do it every day. It's not consistent. I mean, excuse me, it's not much. It is consistent, but it's not much. But after a month, I've read between 150 to 300 pages, right? It's either a book or a book and a half that I've done in a month, and sometimes even two, right? So, take it for what it's worth. That's my 2 cents on the new year, new me trap. Again, the new year, new me trap being just that mindset of I'm going to do something. I'm going to switch today just because it's a brand new year, right? It's bullshit. It's it's nothing special. It's just how we mentally effed ourselves into thinking like I'm going to change because it's a brand new year, right? It's all bullshit. And we know what it is. You can change any day, anytime. It doesn't have to be a brand new year to start it. But if you're going to start doing something, first look at how you speak to yourself, how you identify yourself, right? And watch the words that you're telling yourself. I am this, right? I am a chewer, or I am this, or I'm trying to quit smoking, or I'm trying to quit chewing, or I'm trying to lose weight, right? Think about what that means when you say things like that, right? Because what you tell yourself are the stories you're going to start to believe. And that can be one heck of a path back, right? So you really have to focus on your identity and the stories you're telling yourself, because that's going to make or break your progress this next year. Anywho, 15 minutes, this long video. So identity, right? Let's focus on that. Let's focus on making some really good, small, doable changes every single day that can build into something really big and, really big and beautiful down the road. As always, Flying Health Coach coming at you. Cheers again. Happy New Year. Happy Monday, right? Happy Monday. Happy New Year. Let's have a good one. And it's always free to shoot me an email. My email is in the introduction page. Happy to talk about life. Happy to help if I can. Got a great set of ears again. If you just need to bitch about something in life, I'm here for all humans. And yeah, I know how hard life can be sometimes. So if anyone needs anything, got your back. Peace.